Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your game bastard, Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
And I'm Austin.
On this podcast, we play role-playing games. Today, we're playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1985 by Palladium.
Haven't met a single turtle yet.
Yeah, it's true.
But there's been much ado about a beaver.
Yeah, there are no turtles in this adventure.
It's my favorite Shakespeare.
So this game came out a long time ago, and basically you just roll up random mutant animal characters, and you get into ninja fights.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
And if you want anything more from this system, you're not going to get it. That's what it does. If you're into that, you're in the right place.
Yeah. Reagan killed it.
Reagan killed it, yeah. It was a second term,
right.
And they passed a resolution.
Yeah. It's actually Joe Lieberman.
Was he in the Congress in 1985? Probably.
Everybody was.
Everybody-
We still have the same Congress.
Mitch McConnell was in the Senate.
It was AOC somehow. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're in the Dark Knight Returns universe where Reagan's on like his sixth fucking term.
Right. No, it's Futurama heads in jars.
I mean, Strom Thurmond's still in Congress, for God's sakes.
Probably.
Well, I mean, he
In 1985.
he possessed the body of Ted Cruz. So,
Ugh.
So this is our second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode. If you haven't, go back one episode and start there. This will make a lot more sense because the gang of mutant animals is trying to break into KFC headquarters, and that will make sense if you go back.
Yeah.
But as of right now, all your characters are at the KFC mega factory headquarters just outside Corbin, Kentucky. You've infiltrated the first ring of security, which is, of course, ridiculously heavy because of all the KFC secrets in their mutant animal division. So the three of you are in disguise, in line, trying to get into the Grindhouse, which is this massive, more secure facility within the greater structure where all the spices are compiled.
all 11 of them.
Well, this is 1985, Todd. It's only 7
Oh, okay.
right now.
That was the highest number then.
Yeah.
It's a single mixing pot for mixing the spices, and it's in that first Mission Impossible movie vault.
And so you're in this long line of employees waiting to get inside, and there's a DNA scanner at the door. There's security guards, Uzis, cameras, robots.
Oh, wow.
It's KFC, Todd.
Yeah, well, I know, yeah.
So your characters. Corey, who's your character?
Mapplethorpe, the monkey ape man.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And your ninja weapon?
It's a whip. Got other shit though.
Sure.
I'll caltrop a motherfucker right now.
Austin?
I'm Banksy the beaver. I got a sword.
Okay, cool. Todd?
BobRoss the chicken. I have nunchucks, which is like nunchucks. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but my nunchucks have felt brushes on each end of them. You know, not only
Sure.
are they a weapon, but I use them to paint.
So you're all in line. There's 3 or 4 employees ahead of you. The DNA scanner, beep, human, and someone goes through. The guards, next, please. Now, you guys realize, obviously, given the horrible state of your genetic material, you're probably not going to be scanned as human. What are you going to do?
How many guards are there?
4. They all have Uzis, because this is 1985.
Well, yeah, they gave those out with KFC meals.
Yeah, it was the only weapon you could have as a security guard in 1985. Either that or a Smith & Wesson revolver.
Kyle, I'm assuming there is some sort of 80s giant boxy computer database that's running this DNA scanner off to the side somewhere.
Oh, of course. There's wires trail back to an alcove where there's this ridiculously oversized computer, a monitor, that tube
Let's
screen.
hack it.
Yeah.
By hack it, I mean in the 80s, you just switch some wires around.
Yeah.
I mean, Mapplethorpe has the skill of surveillance systems.
Okay.
It's just like hot wiring a car, really.
Yeah.
So I have both computer programming and computer tech, both over 50%.
Now,
Well, good for fucking you.
so
Bragging about shit.
So obviously the guards aren't going to let you just walk in and start pushing buttons on the computer. But hacking the computer, sure, that's an interesting idea. How are you going to go about it?
So does somebody like want to create a distraction so that I can get around the corner and mess with this computer?
Well, Mapplethorpe is really good with acrobatics.
Okay.
Can I start doing a backflip over and over again just as entertainment? Because if they look over and see Christopher Walken from the Dead Zone doing backflips, I think they'd be like distracted.
Or you could just show them your photo collection. That generally draws a crowd.
It's a good call.
Yeah, you guys could use your artistic skills. Bob Ross could do some watercolor.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Bob Ross, Mapplethorpe together, what would they do in real life? I think Bob would start painting Mapplethorpe's ass.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you.
All right, so Bob's going to take his titanium white and dip each end of his nunclucks into it, and he's going to start painting a happy little cloud right there on Mapplethorpe's bum.
Okay, so we're going to have some skill rolls now.
Okay.
Bob's is watercolor.
Indeed.
That makes sense. What is Mapplethorpe using here?
Well, I think so everybody can get a really good view of the ass art.
Sure.
This would be acrobatics, and Mapplethorpe is going to stand on his hands so his ass is higher for Bob Ross.
Yeah.
And make a Y.
Right.
And if the listeners didn't know what kind of podcast this is,
Yeah.
they do now.
Didn't used to be this way. Something happened.
All right, roll your acrobatics. Now, in this system, the skills are all percentile. So what's your acrobatics percentage?
Well, there's skills underneath acrobatics. I think this would be sense of balance if he's standing on his hands.
That makes sense.
That's 74%. Actually,
Yeah.
I got +5. That's 79%.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, you're a gorilla.
Yeah.
You're very kinesthetic.
Not the first time he's had his ass painted either. I think that goes for all of us.
Okay.
Got to get under a 79.
Yep.
That's 83.
Okay. All right. Noted. Todd, your watercolor percentage?
25% plus 5, so 30%. Not great.
Not great. Not great. Why? I don't know why watercolor is that hard, but
That is a 37. Damn it.
so total failure on both sides.
I was turned around the wrong way. And starts painting my codpiece.
So Bob produces some watercolor paints that he just happened to have on him. Mapplethorpe strips his pants off, does a handstand.
Oh, he's got chaps.
Oh, of course. Yeah, parts his chaps. And that's when the security guards, hey, Mike, doesn't that look like a chicken in a suit? Another one looks, he's got a big hairy butt like a gorilla.
No, I put a Christopher Walken ass mask on. So
That's just a gorilla in a Christopher Walken-esque mask.
It's got a watch sticking out of it.
And Bob Ross turns around and says, hey, fellows, what kind of jibber-jabber is this? I am Mr. T, and I pity you fools.
wow.
Nice.
Uncanny.
So, Todd, do you have any skills that would let you impersonate Mr. T?
I do have imitate voices. I didn't know that I would be able to use it, but
Obviously.
there it is.
Okay, roll your imitate voices.
It's just 20%.
Because
Well,
they
no
are
way.
aiming their weapons at obvious mutants.
a 34.
And we're in initiative.
Oh, Lord.
I rolled a 5.
Got a 2.
I got a 1.
Yay.
So the guards shout, oh, it's those mutants that escaped from here not that long ago. And they open fire with their submachine guns. So in Palladium system, which we covered in the last episode, as long as you roll over a 5, you're going to hit.
Yeah.
One of these guys hit.
Just 1?
Just one. Rolled a 3, a 2, a 3, and a 10.
Wow.
Cool.
Great rolls so far today, fellas.
Just all across the board. We're all doing great.
Yeah.
And that hits Todd, or Bob Ross. Submachine guns do 46 damage.
Now, can he try to dodge or anything?
Potentially. Todd, what is your armor rating?
17.
Okay, so the submachine gun burst is going to hit your armor.
Yes.
Now, you could try to dodge. He rolled a 10. You probably could. However, remember, you have 2 actions for the round. If you
Yes.
spend 1 to dodge, you'd have only 1 on your turn to attack. You do have an automatic dodge, which you could roll, which generally doesn't get the same bonuses as a dodge, but you can roll it. So you could roll a d20 automatically because you're like a martial arts ninja, and if you roll higher than a 10, he won't hit you at all.
Proficient in Wing Chun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do an automatic dodge.
Yeah, I believe none of you have any bonuses to your automatic dodge, so
What's my target number here?
10 or better. He rolled a 10.
That's a 5.
Okay. So he opens fire with the submachine gun, bullets impacting on Ross's armor, ricocheting around the room. All the employees are running, terrified. This is the third time this has happened this week here at KFC. You take 16 points of damage.
To my armor or to myself?
To your armor.
Oh, okay. My SDC is 280.
Don't even mark it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only real question is why you guys bothered to try to sneak in anyway. You should have just started at slaughtering people.
Well, I tried.
Yeah, we're basically just wearing those berserker suits from Call of Duty.
Yes.
And it is, well, Austin's the high roller here on initiative with a 5.
Yes.
So it's Austin's turn. Now, Austin, you had been sneaking around to the computer, so you're off to the side, not in the immediate hail of bullets. There's 4 guards ahead of you, and you guys are, of course, in an entry hallway. There's a big pair of double doors on the other side of the guards, and that leads into the grindhouse main assembly area.
So we still have to get inside. So I think I still need to mess with this computer first. You guys hang on just a minute.
We'll hang on under the hail of bullets.
So I get 2 actions this turn, right?
You get 2.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is go ahead and fuck with the computer real fast and then kind of flip out and slice someone in half with my sword. Can I do that?
Sure.
Cool.
I'm open to suggestion.
All right. So first of all, I've got a computer tech skill of 65%.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll that first. Oh, that's a 10.
Hey, the first success of the evening. Yay.
All right, so what Banksy does is he kind of carefully removes just the side plate from this gigantic computer console. And it turns out there are just wires connected to certain commands. Like when one thing happens, another thing happens, because this is the 80s.
Yeah, it's
so
the
like
80s.
there's one for scan, and then if mutant, no enter. And he just kind of rearranges the wires just until it says scan, enter, and bypasses the conditional entirely.
Yeah, those are the only 2 options.
Yeah.
Human or mutant.
Yeah.
There's one that says aardvark. You don't know why.
I was about to say there should be a bear one. You don't want them in there.
So Banksy's doing all these modifications amidst the hail of submachine gun fire.
Yeah, you guys hang on just a second.
You have a second action.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Banksy's then gonna leap atop the computer console and flip off of it and attack the closest guard with an Uzi.
Using your sword.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I have a +2 to strike. So I'm just rolling a d20 on this one, right?
Yes.
That's an 8.
You hit. They're just in dress shirts and slacks. Because this is 1985. Security guards generally did not walk around in Kevlar and full body gear.
Uzis, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's 1985.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, I do 3d6 plus 3 damage. Ooh, that's pretty ugly. So 16 total damage.
Well, okay. How do you kill him?
So the guards are feeling pretty confident for just a moment, and then all of a sudden, out of the smoke, this vaguely terrifying looking chud flies out of the smoke wielding a ninja sword
Oh, yeah, he's in a chud mask.
and just slices one of these guards vertically, like vivisects him basically, and he just falls to either side.
Before the blow falls, the guard yells, "Oh no, it's my last day!"
2 days to retirement.
Getting too old for this shit.
Corey?
Okay, so Mapplethorpe, well, Banksy is taking care of EVIAC, so he doesn't need to bother with the surveillance systems or anything like that, I guess.
No, not at all.
So he's just going to murder innocent people.
Okay.
He goes after one of the other Uzi guards.
I mean, innocent is a strong word. They're KFC guards. They basically commit genocide weekly.
This is true. I forget.
PETA sent me some talking points.
He's going to use his whip.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. That's a 6. Jesus.
You hit.
Just barely.
So
Yeah.
you just needed 5.
All right, roll your damage.
So that's a D8. That's a 7. I got a +1 strike bonus. So that's 8.
You exceeded his hit points multiple times over. How does this look when Mapplethorpe ends alive?
Mapplethorpe swings his whip towards the face of the guard. It wraps around his head, wrapping around his mouth at the same time, sort of like a ball gag or something like that. And then he, with his ape-like strength, he yanks on it hard, causing it to contract and pop the top of the guy's head off from the mouth.
Pez comes out.
Oh, God.
No, he's just blood and brains. That guard is dead.
Oh, okay.
Todd, with your nunclucks.
Bob Ross is going to use his nunclucks on guard number 3. They're actually wearing helpful numbers. This one has a badge that says
Yeah.
number 3.
Yes.
No names,
No.
just numbers.
Oh, that's an 11. Nunclucks do D8. That is a 7 plus. I got a +1 to strike, so that is an 8.
How does Bob Ross do it, Todd?
Bob Ross does a flip and lands and does like a little between the legs action with the nunclucks and behind the back and everything. And just before he deals the death blow to guard number 3, he says, "Should have stayed in school and drank more milk," because he's Mr. T.
Oh, I see. Right, he's disguised as Mr.
Still
T.
trying to pull off that ruse.
I forgot about that.
He swings the nunclucks and it connects right with the guy's temple and just like dents it in. I mean, it just and like shards of bone go into the guard's brain, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes.
His eyes cross. He's down. The other guard drops his Uzi, turns around. He's pushing the button on the door. Tick, 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 tick. It's slowly opening. He's looking back behind him. They're going to get me. He runs inside. There's this ripping, grinding noise. Blood splashes through the entrance, and you hear, "I'm surrounded by incompetence." And you can see the interior of the grindhouse inside. All these vats of spices, and beyond that,
Boss Nass.
well, this is the grindhouse is a huge multi-level room.
Okay.
So you can't see all of it, but you can see the mixing vessels. But beyond that, you see this lurid green glow. "Come in, my children. It's time we had a talk."
Is that like the Colonel?
It's Colonel Sanders, of course. What do you 3 do?
All right, like Mapplethorpe, you're the masochist, so maybe...
I will go to Daddy.
Who else is entering the grindhouse with Mapplethorpe?
No, we'll go with him.
Okay. Well, once you enter this massive stadium-sized room, you don't immediately see the Colonel. There's lighting on the floor and some of the walls, but the ceiling is draped in darkness.
He is the grindhouse.
The voice seems to come from all around. "My finest creations returned." You see the bisected body of the guard nearby, and this long mechanical claw slowly being drawn up to the ceiling on a chain. "I needed you all to come back. I apologize for the inconvenience that the rednecks may have caused." You walk slowly into the room, and beyond all the spice equipment, there's this big cylindrical shaft filled with these human-sized tanks. They're all covered. You can't tell what's in them. Probably some kind of mutant. Built over a precipice. This cylinder is at the end of the chamber, going up and down into the depths of the earth. There's thousands of these tanks. And out on this catwalk, on this platform, is this bubbling cauldron of green ooze. And flowing down from that are all these pipes that go down to the bottom of the facility, come back up, and attach to all these tanks. It's this hugely complex construction. There's obviously computer control panels, scientific equipment. "You are my finest creations, though we knew not what we had. All our research, all our efforts to improve upon your designs has failed. I needed to get back to the original genetic material."
The original formula, per se?
Yes. So thank you for returning. The door closes behind you, and then a secondary and third door over it. And from the shadows descends this man in a white suit with white hair, little black glasses, encased in this robotic, mechanized spider machine, except it has way more than 8 limbs. Variously, they end in claws or buzzsaws or laser beams. And he's climbing down the sides of the tube, flanked by all these vats of mutants.
Cal made Colonel Sanders the spider mastermind.
Yeah. He takes the cigarette out of his pocket, lights it. "I appreciate your willingness to promote science and my eventual takeover of the world."
So is this the actual Colonel Sanders, or is somebody like Ving Rhames playing him this time for fun? Or
Oh, this is the actual-
Callista Flockhart is the Colonel.
Oh, I mean, he's played by Nathan Lane.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's supposed to be Colonel Sanders.
Well, this is the 80s. It's Telly Savalas.
Oh, it would be Telly Savalas, yeah. Yeah, he's for some reason bald. No,
Yes.
no, it's Colonel Sanders. And look, let's just make this easy. There's no reason for violence. I admire you all very much. Walk up to my cauldron here, put in some of your genetic material, and you can go.
What exactly does that mean? Some genetic material? Like
Blood.
how?
For Mapplethorpe, let's specify blood, Mapplethorpe.
Oh, I see.
Just some blood samples, and you can go on your way, and we'll let bygones be bygones. It doesn't have to be a lot of blood. I'm not asking you to give to the Red Cross. Just prick your finger. You've all got assorted weapons and ninja stars and whatnot, what the children play with these days. Just bleed a little bit, and I can get samples, and then my army will rise.
So I think I'd feel a little like better if we just like killed you and then made our way in the world free.
You think you're the first people to try to kill Colonel Sanders?
Yes.
Well, Sandy, I think like we're the first ones who can.
I'll do to you three what I did to the clown.
Oh,
no.
Part of the room lights up and there's a clown impaled on a pike. It's the Ronald McDonald costume.
Dear Lord.
oh man!
And it keeps lighting up and there's more people impaled on in clown
Oh,
suits.
good Lord!
No, it's all the McDonald's assassins that have been trying to kill me.
Grimace is actually grimacing.
Mayor McCheese has surprisingly switched sides.
He's standing off to the side.
Yeah.
A guy in a Burger King mask comes out. He's fine.
No, it would have been the Where's the Beef lady at this
Oh,
time.
it was. Where's the beef? Yeah.
She's standing back there with the like dual wielding katanas.
How is it in the golden age of fast food mascots? Burger King didn't do it until the 2000s.
I know.
What were they? Were they just 20 years behind?
Well, they created an eldritch abomination.
No, that's true. So the Colonel is waiting for your answer. I mean, I assume it's going to be no, your player characters.
Oh, we're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Banksy's still wearing the Chud mask, and he slowly takes it off like he's revealing his face. Everybody knows what he looks like. But he slowly removes his mask and draws his sword.
Mapplethorpe attaches nipple clamps.
Okay.
It's the pain rage going.
Yeah.
His spider arms variously go into combat formation. He says, I guess you three want to be extra crispy.
Oh, I get it.
Roll initiative.
18.
12.
5.
I got a rock.
The Colonel's arms lunge toward you all, slamming into the ground. You're dodging around. Scientific equipment is exploding. Spices are filling the air.
Smells delicious.
It does. Yeah! Austin, it's your turn.
Okay.
Please do that every time.
Okay.
Okay, so do I get 2 actions this turn?
Yeah, standard combat.
Okay.
Now, his attack's going to go after yours. So, you might want to think about saving a dodge or something. Because I will tell you that the Colonel has more than 2 actions.
Ah, okay. What's the distance between us at this point?
So this is movie distance. This is a huge room. The cylindrical shaft that the Colonel is hovering over, all his robot arms are attached to the wall, and he's kind of hanging in mid-air above this giant vat of ooze, is probably 200 meters tall from top to bottom. And you guys are like at the midpoint.
Okay.
Like the spice room attaches to this silo. And the spice room itself is large.
Okay.
It's like Michael Bay movie. Don't worry too much about where everybody is.
All right, so then in the interest of keeping our position kind of sustainable, Banksy's going to attack one of these robotic arms first
Okay, cool.
to try and neutralize some attacks before we start trying to hurt his health at all.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Now, it may just be like Hydra. I don't know, but we'll find out.
we'll see.
But Banksy's going to leap into the air, kind of wall jump off of one of these scientific computer panels to get higher up in the air and try to literally just slice off one of these mechanical arms with his large sword.
Okay,
All right, I've got a +2 to strike. That's a 16.
you just hit above his armor rating.
Cool. And I do 3d6 plus 3 damage.
Okay.
That's 12.
The sword bites deep into this mechanical arm. Oil squirts out of the crack. You didn't cut through it. Your sword's kind of stuck in there. Just for color. He's like, oh, that's going to leave a mark. I'm going to have to get that one repolished. You did damage. The arm is not completely disabled yet.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice my second turn and see if I can take it all the way out.
Interesting. All right. Tell you what, since you've already made a successful attack and you're keeping that up, you can have advantage to hit that arm.
Okay. So I'm rolling a second d20. We're going to say I've just kind of yanked the sword out, leaping into the air and trying to stab downward again to hit it. The highest roll +2 is 7.
Well, you still hit.
Oh, okay.
Not the arm. It lunges out of the way, and another one comes in and tries to hack at you, and that's the one you hit. So roll damage.
Okay.
Mechanically, this is going to go against his main SDC and not the arms specifically.
All right. Another 12.
That arm comes in, tries to claw at you. You swing your sword, knock it out of the way, and it is Corey's turn.
Okay, first Mapplethorpe kind of scans the room to make sure Andy Dandytail isn't lurking in the shadows anywhere.
You see there's a side hall, and at the end you see an Andy Dandytail hanging from his ankles. Oh, please help me!
Oh man, that may be the most niche fast food mascot.
Yeah.
Druthers was like only in like Kentucky, wasn't it?
Not far, not
Yeah.
many places.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do, Corey?
Give me the layout of the room again. There's a bunch of like chambers full of Snokes, apparently.
Yeah, so the grindhouse proper is essentially a large rectangular room. Lots of spices and chemicals and industrial equipment. And at the end of the grindhouse, where the kernel is this silo, vertical silo. And lining the walls of the silo are these suspended animation chambers. You know, obviously he's growing some kind of mutant army, right? But you can't see them; they're covered. Each one has like this opaque frosting over it. But he is hovering in midair with various arms that are attached to the walls. And below him, on ground level, extended on a catwalk from where you guys are, is the top of the vat of ooze, which is bubbling and connected to all these tubes that will go out to activate the mutants, of course.
Okay, we definitely don't want the mutants to activate because
Good.
they're probably programmed to kill. So how near is the spice silo to the vat of ooze?
The grindhouse is right there, of course, and there's multiple large spice containers that are they're like mine carts or carried by forklifts. I mean, none of them are right there next to it, but I mean it's all reasonably close together.
So Mapplethorpe is going to attempt to use his judo
Okay.
on the kernel.
Okay.
Judo is all about momentum and using somebody's like body against them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen Steven Seagal.
He's 400 pounds.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, so he's going to try to judo the kernel into one of the silo nearest to the ooze to try to like burst open the silo and maybe flood the spice into the ooze, like negating its ooze-like powers.
Oh, okay.
So he can't activate the mutants.
Smart.
And possibly kill them because deep inside Mapplethorpe knows what a torturous existence it is to be a mutant. Everything hurts. And not in the way he likes.
So, yeah, you can attempt that.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking, Corey. Like, you're going to have to spin an action to try to get his attention.
The nipple clamps didn't do that?
Well,
Oh.
I mean, I got my attention. to get him to attack you and then to dodge out of the way. So I'd say like unless you have a skill that's really relevant, like probably a charisma roll to taunt him and then just a dodge.
All right, so just rolling against our attributes like that, I don't think we've done that before in this game. Are we basically trying to beat the rank number?
So technically, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at least, there is no rule for rolling your attribute. But the way it was done back in the day in older versions of D&D, you'd roll under it.
Okay, cool.
Which means the higher the better.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll under your mental affinity.
Okay, D20.
D20.
Okay, mental affinities in 11. That's an 18.
Oh.
Hey, I dare you to fight me.
A huge quad-clawed spider arm flings out from across the room towards Mapplethorpe. It is coming towards you, but it is not going to... If you dodge, it will not impact the spice container, unfortunately, which is full of paprika.
So, can I judo it?
You can attempt to judo it back to where you want it to be,
Yeah.
but it's going to be harder. So let me roll his attack.
Okay.
So it's an 18, so you'd have to judo over an 18,
Okay.
and you have disadvantage.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and try with disadvantage to dodge. I got a +4 in dodge. That's a 16.
Ooh, real close.
Yeah.
Mapplethorpe does this very elegant gorilla acrobatic twist, and the quad claw goes over Mapplethorpe's head, over his belly. We just see a little bit of gorilla hair get skimmed off. But what Mapplethorpe did notice was the other claw coming from his side, and that grabs him and slams him into the wall. He is grappled and slowly being lifted into the air. Click, 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 click. Ha ha! Monkey hoisted on his own petard. I don't know what that means.
Joke's on you. I like bondage.
So Mapplethorpe is grappled. Now there are 3 more attacks for the Colonel. We'll see where those go. 1 on Bob and 2 on Banksy. So Austin, a buzzsaw claw comes straight towards you, and so does a laser beam, hitting on a 14 and a 17.
My armor class is 17, so does that just deflect the laser?
Well, remember, if they hit your armor rating or below, it goes to the SDC of your armor, not yours.
Yeah. So my SDC for my armor is 280.
So you could choose to. Well, no, you already used your actions, right? Yeah, you used both your actions. So the only thing you could do is auto dodge here.
Well, I have an auto parry.
Okay, you could auto parry the buzzsaw, not the laser, because it's a laser.
All right.
So if you want to go and try to auto parry the buzzsaw, it's a 14.
Okay.
Which means you need to roll a 14 or better.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 3.
You do not.
Jesus.
And you can try to auto dodge the laser. Turns out your sword cannot parry a laser.
I don't have auto dodge.
Oh, you don't?
No, just parry.
Oh, okay. So you will get hit by the laser. Oh, and the buzzsaw.
Does all of that damage go to my armor?
It's going to all go to your armor. It has to be better than your armor rating.
Gotcha.
So it'd have to be an 18 or better to do damage to your SDC.
Okay, so I'm very good.
Well, for so long as your armor endures.
Holds out, yeah.
Yeah.
So how much damage total?
Well, I don't know. I got to roll some dice, man.
I imagine it's a bunch.
So the buzzsaw does 6 damage. The laser does 50 points of damage.
Dang.
Whoa.
It burns
That's more like it.
It burns a mark across the front breastplate before Banksy can get out of the way. That was 10d8, by the way.
All right. I'm down to about 220 on my armor.
That was 2 of the Colonel's attacks. The third, he used one of these because already against Mapplethorpe, because Mapplethorpe taunted him. Another laser is heading towards the Chicken Man. That hit on an 8. I'm assuming that hit your armor.
Yes.
You haven't taken any actions yet.
No.
You do have an auto dodge.
Yes.
Would you like to auto dodge?
Yes. That's a 6.
Not enough. 47 points of damage. Catches your shoulder, almost burns through into your flesh, but you get out of the way. It takes out a big block of hardened garlic. The room starts to smell delicious.
Oh.
Garlic shrapnel flying around. It's your turn, Chad.
BobRoss was created to be a spokes chicken. He's very adept at advertising and therefore manipulation. He also has skill in psychology, and he has a skill which I didn't think I would be able to use in ventriloquism.
I didn't think you'd be able to use it either.
And he also has the imitate voices skill. So what BobRoss is going to do is he is going to throw his voice using the power of ventriloquism to imitate the voices of all of the dead mutant animals that Colonel Sanders has ever created. Therefore, perhaps inflict some mental damage on him long enough for us to slay him.
I'll say you could stun him for 1 round.
Okay.
And you imitate the voice of Becky, his prize chicken.
Okay.
No.
From when he was a child showing at the fair.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Harlan, it's me, Becky. Remember when I was your prize-winning chicken? You took me to the Shelby County Fair, and we won a blue ribbon, and we were the bestest friends ever. Then your family plucked me and chopped my head off, and y'all ate me for Christmas dinner. And I'm here in the afterworld where I am tortured every day. I live in hell, Harlan. Harlan, you sent me to hell. Hell.
That is distracting.
Roll your ventriloquism.
That would stun me, I have to say.
Ventriloquism is a 16%, by the way.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, it's a 35.
Becky, for you, that was important, but for Colonel Sanders, that was a Tuesday. Don't worry, more of your kind are coming soon. Where'd that one go? Valiant effort.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That has become one of your MOs on these games. I have to say, after this one and Conan and Star Wars, like, you can always count on Todd to stop the action for a moment to try and inflict a psychological attack.
A Hail Mary.
I'm a fan.
Okay, so you still have one more action, Todd.
BobRoss is going to use his favorite weapon, a combination of Nunclucks and titanium white, and attempt to flick the paint at the Colonel, therefore blinding him.
Okay.
That's an 11, so that's a hit.
That is a hit. The paint flashes towards the colonel, and one of the arms sweeps out and catches it. Splatters white paint all over it. Ha! You didn't think I left myself completely undefended? So basically, for that to work, to blind him, you would have had to hit higher than his armor rating.
Gotcha.
Which he does have. So, top of the round, Austin, it is your turn.
All right.
Everybody has their full actions back.
Okay.
Now, to recap, you almost cut through one of his arms, and Mapplethorpe is grappled, hanging in the air above a bucket of butter.
Banksy is going to try to finish hacking through this first arm, and then leaping off the dead limb, he may try to get an attack on the colonel himself.
Okay,
We'll
well,
see.
that arm is trying to boa constrict around Banksy.
Okay.
I got something for you, Beaver!
Banksy's going to kind of leap and swipe up with his sword to try and hack all the way through it. Got a +2 to strike, rolling a d20.
Okay.
That's a 15.
That's a hit.
Is that through his armor?
No, if you get through his arm, if you get above his armor, you would hit him directly. Since you're targeting an arm, you target the arm's SDC, which
Gotcha.
the arm doesn't have hit points. It's not organic.
Okay. So then that is 3d6 + 3.
Basically, to hit an arm, you just have to roll 5 or better.
That's 16 damage.
Well, tell us how that looks.
As this arm kind of starts to loop around, Banksy kind of leaps and ricochets off this panel and then swipes upward. And it's like a Gendy Tartakovsky cartoon, like Samurai Jack, where, you just see the straight line that his sword makes, and then the arm is in pieces, flying every which way as he kind of hurtles upward toward the colonel to make a direct attack.
Yeah, there's used deep fryer oil just spewing out of the broken arm.
So yeah, I'm going to try to make an attack directly on Sanders.
Okay.
So again, d20 + 2. That's a 16.
That is above his armor rating.
Awesome. All right. 3d6 + 3. There's no way for me. There's no like meta currency to try and up damage or anything in this game, is there?
There is not, but if you want, you can have an extra d6 for every d6 of damage you're willing to take.
Okay.
To your hit points.
Okay, I'll do that once.
Okay, 1d6.
Yeah. That's 19 total damage.
So one of the arms sweeps in to try to block Banksy's attack. He smashes through it, and his blade sweeps down the colonel's suit. Red blood wells up from the cut, and then another arm smashes into Banksy, knocks him back down. 2 points of damage to your hit points, Austin.
All right.
So that took out all of the colonel's personal SDC, and he inflicted hit point damage. Damn it! You think I just have an infinite amount of these suits?
Yes.
Corey.
Yes.
Mapplethorpe is being grappled by one of the colonel arms.
Okay.
He's about to be drowned in butter.
Okay.
Now, Austin, with your previous arm attack, you did take out one of his actions.
Cool.
So the colonel's down to 3 actions.
So what Mapplethorpe is going to try to do is take advantage of a distracted and somewhat wounded colonel. His arm has been hacked off. I would imagine that is throwing his balance off a little bit.
Well, one of his spider arms.
Right.
It's not great.
Sure.
These mecha spider suits, they don't come off the rack.
Yeah.
This is custom.
So I think he's going to try to use his judo again. He's grappled, but he can still kind of like swing his very large body and try to use the momentum of the off-balance and distracted colonel to try to flip him.
Into?
Well, I mean, the vat of ooze if you want.
Sure.
Or will that mutate him into something worse?
Yes, it will.
Lord. Okay, I'm going to try the grain silo bit again, then, or the spice silo.
Okay. Well, okay. So basically, you'll need to. I'll let you, since you have judo, you could spend one action to reverse the grapple and then try to heave the colonel into stuff.
Okay.
So we'll just do an opposed roll for the grapple.
Okay. D20.
Yeah.
Mapplethorpe got a 17.
I got a 9.
Oh!
So what's it look like when Mapplethorpe ungrapples and then grapples?
He shimmies a lot of jiggling and gets out that way.
What do you do down there? You're as wet as a baby seal!
And then kind of puts his arms up in the air together and kind of slips out the bottom.
Yeah.
While still holding on to one of the grapple claws.
Okay, and then uses his gorilla strength.
Yes.
Okay.
To flip, judo-ish.
Okay, so that would just be a strike.
Okay. That's a 10.
Yeah, so the colonel's just going to take it. So that'll be to his armor, but we'll say 2d6 damage for being flung into a tub of onion powder.
That's an 11.
So he flies across the room, slams into this big industrial tub of onion powder. The powder goes everywhere. It's this fog obscuring view, and then the Colonel comes walking out on his human legs, the arachnoid limbs flailing around him. He's even wider now than he was before because he's covered in the powder. Damn it, Mapplethorpe! And it is the Colonel's turn. So we'll just go 1, 2, 3. Todd, that's a natural 20.
Oh.
Corey, that's a 15. Austin, that's an 8. Laser beams for everybody!
Ow.
Corey, what is your armor rating?
12.
Okay, so Todd and Corey are going to get hit on their SDC. Austin will get hit at his armor.
Yep.
And to keep this simple, I'm just going to roll his 10d8 once, and that'll be the damage both of you take.
Okay.
Corey, you take 40 points of damage. Todd, you take 80.
Wow. I'm down.
Oh.
I'm down to 20 because
This-
I only have 60 SDC.
I think that chicken might be fried.
Laser beam sweeps across the room, hits Mapplethorpe, hits BobRoss. Now, you both can attempt to dodge
Now-
if you have automatic dodges.
What are we taking this 80?
You're taking it off your SDC.
Not my armors, my personal SDC.
Your personal SDC.
Okay, well, my personal SDC is 35.
Okay, so you can attempt to dodge.
Okay.
Which I recommend.
Yes?
Now you need to get a 20. Corey,
Yeah.
are you going to dodge?
Sure, if it's a free.
Well, have you used both your actions? You have an automatic dodge from your martial arts, so you can automatically dodge for free.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, both of you should do that.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Okay. So Todd, you have 35 SDC,
Yes.
and how many hit points do you have?
14.
Okay, now I'm not great at math. But I don't think that is equal to 80. So the laser beam glowing red, screeching across the room, bursting through boxes and crates and vats. It hits Mapplethorpe, knocks him backwards, and BobRoss turns at the wrong time. And Colonel Sanders says, "Let's make a happy little chicken." And it burns through his head. Burns straight through Bob-Ross's head.
The last thing Bob Ross says as the laser beam slices through his head is he looks at the Colonel and he says, "Cock-a-doodle doom." And then his body continues to run around.
Sure, that's a given.
Yeah.
Of course. I hate it when they do that. Yeah, I mean, Todd, technically you're not dead yet. You can still take actions on your turn. It'll just all be at horrible disadvantages.
Sure.
And, mostly random. Also, it's your turn.
Okay.
You don't have a head. And are dead.
Just a body flailing around.
Yeah.
Can I roll just on the off chance that my body runs into the Colonel?
Well, of course.
Because he's covered in onion powder. He might not see me coming.
His eyes sting.
Yeah.
Really bad right now.
So what what am I going to roll here?
I think just an attack roll.
Okay.
Probably at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because no head.
It's a 15 and a 9.
Okay, a 9 will hit him. Well, his armor. So I just want to clarify: disadvantage is not in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's just a rule I threw in. That is from 5th edition D&D, of course.
I accept you.
Yeah. So Todd, you can roll. Obviously, your nunchucks are still in Bob Ross's hands, so you
Yes.
can roll normal attack damage with those.
6.
So Bob's headless corpse is flailing around, slams into one of my arms, knocks it off balance. The Colonel's like, "Damn it, I hate chickens! Curse America's eternal love for these stupid fowls. They make us all look bad."
Well.
Also, it's your turn.
Yeah, I want this dude dead. So, ducking out of the way of Bob Ross, the beaver does a flying leap off of the chicken's shoulder and leaps up in the air again for a direct attack on the Colonel.
Okay. If you want to, you can use both of your attacks and combine into one if you want to roll with advantage.
I would absolutely love to do that. That's an 18.
That is going to hit him personally.
Okay. And I will once again risk taking a d6 damage to roll an extra one.
Well, I'll roll. You could have as many extra D6s as you want.
I think I just need the one.
We take 2 hit points of damage.
Okay. That's 16 damage.
Bursting through the cloud of onion powder
And feathers.
and feathers comes Banksy. His sword slams into Colonel Sanders' chest. It's yanked out with this disgusting sucking sound as a lot of the organs come with it.
As the sword is stuck in him, Banksy leans in and says, "Hey, I'm going to steal the rest of your money."
The Colonel stumbles backwards, and then his body goes rigid and freezes, and there's this hiss of compressed air, and the face pops off,
Oh.
and inside is a duck.
Oh.
Damn it! Do you know how long it took me to make Colonel Sanders? You piece of crap!
The natural enemy of the chicken. The duck.
I hate beavers too! You ruin our ponds with all your poop.
And then he tries to sell us insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He flaps out of the head, flies back up to land on Colonel Sanders' bloody hair. Well, I guess just ruin everything. Just ruin it all, you stupid beaver. I was gonna make all these mutant ducks and kill all the humans and we'd have a great animal world, but no, you just can't bleed into a giant green vat of bubbling ooze.
Can I attack the duck?
Yes.
Okay. Mapplethorpe has skills in anthropology, so he knows the history of the evolution of ducks and duck cultures.
Sure.
He uses this to his advantage as he judos the duck, attempting to grab it by the neck and slam it head first into the ground.
That is the traditional way of killing a duck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll to strike.
That's a 10.
Turns out that is sufficient to hit a duck.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
That is 7 duck damage.
Now, what are you gonna do, Mapplethorpe? You
This is that Avengers moment where the monkey just slams the duck into the ground.
Yeah, you can describe how that goes down, Corey.
He grabs the duck by the duck neck, turns it upside down, and repeatedly slams it into the ground, and then kind of grinds it into the ground. And then he takes the corpse of the duck, poses it erotically with the corpse of Colonel Sanders, and takes a few photos.
Of course.
As he snaps the last photo, Bob Ross's body just slams into both of them. Knocks the colonel corpse, knocks the duck flying, and then finally falls over. And the onion powder settles.
Well, I guess we're free to go wherever we want now, right, Mapplethorpe?
I don't think so, because we're weird looking and the humans don't seem to like us.
That's okay. I've got like $200,000 now.
Let's go to Six Flags.
So Mapplethorpe and Banksy escape into the night. Colonel is dead. His plan to take over the world destroyed. A blow for all mallards. But the foul cabal will strike again. In the commotion, Bob Ross's body is never recovered.
You see lurking in the shadows the Chick-fil-A cows rubbing their hooves together.
Well, that's the end of our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adventure. It was a pretty standard story. You've heard it all before.
Right. It's almost biblical in nature.
Absolutely. There are many, many Greek tragedies that are, have essentially the exact same story.
Yeah, Mecha Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, who hasn't fought Mecha Spider Colonel Sanders?
Yeah, it was in the Odyssey.
You know what's funny is that we fought Mecha Spider Colonel Sanders in this game and not the Wendy's RPG.
That's true. Yeah, we still got to play that Wendy's RPG.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So what do you guys think? How do you feel about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's fine.
It's pretty standard fare, honestly.
It's about what you expect from 1985.
Yeah.
There have been many RPG improvements since then.
There have been a number, yeah.
It's
yeah.
very, very complicated setup that comes down to very, very simplistic actions when it finally comes down to gameplay.
The allure is the setting and the making your characters.
Yeah.
Like you could literally apply that to any system and it would be fun to play as these characters.
Yeah, the mutant animal stuff is great.
The character creation and all of that and the skills and everything, it's kind of the equivalent of building a supercomputer to turn the lights on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To create the clapper.
Yeah. If I were to redesign this, which they actually have, so this book is out of print. It has been for a long time. They actually have a different version called After the Bomb, and I have no idea what the rules in that are like. I assume it's kind of standard Palladium fare, which if you're into Palladium, I'm sure you'd like it. I love making mutant animals. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was my favorite part.
No, yeah, it's so great. And if you're like, wait, did they make mutant animals? We make that for our Patreon members. That's our session 0.
Yeah.
And that was a super fun episode. If you want to hear that, go to patreon.com/bastardquest.
And thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers.
And to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah.
Barrel and Bond. Head to the bathroom, but watch out for the robot arms.
It's a new one of those new European toilets.
It's a bidet, but it'll get you.
It blasts ooze into your anus. Now my anus speaks to me. Mutated.
Also, thank you to Norse Foundry. All the damage done to the players was on Norse Foundry dice. No, I didn't have that. I don't have that many Norse Foundry D8s.
Not yet.
No, not yet. We have a promo code. If you listen to Bastard Quest, you want to get some Norse Foundry dice, which we recommend. Promo code. What is that promo code, Corey? I can't remember.
Cham.
All right, Cham.
With a silent E.
Yes.
CHAM.
There you go.
You can use that at checkout at Norse Foundry and get 10% off any purchase there.
Norse Foundry Dice. I give them all the credit for rolling better lately.
Yeah, your rolls have been better.
In all, not just do 2D20. I'm having fun.
Is it the Norse Foundry dice? Are they magic? Maybe.
Buy some and find out.
You can't prove they're not.
I guess it's true.
Yes.
Well, thank you for listening. Most of all, we do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.